Welcome to the After the Show movie podcast, brought to you by your hosts, Ace Scully and Sid Talk. We're addicted to movies. Are you? Welcome, Sid Talk. We're getting into this one quick today.
How so? What do you mean? Hello.
Got lots to say about this movie.
Are you saying that before the After the Show discussion was inconsequential and short and brief and all that?
We were talking about printers.
We were. Well, printing out some paper, yes. Nobody cares.
No.
So we're moving on.
Moving on up to the east side. West side? East side. All right, it's Saturday, May the 17th, After the Show 891. This is your weekly movie review podcast. And this week we're looking at the movie Mickey 17. It's a 2025 release, out now on streaming, Blu-ray, and 4K. It's rated R. Its runtime is 2 hours and 17 minutes, and it's from our friends at Warner Brothers, who sent us the 4K disc for review. Sid Talk, can you give us the synopsis of the movie Mickey 17?
Future, science fiction. We can duplicate humans, and it goes very wrong.
All right, I'll give you.
And there's a dictatorial dickhead.
I'll give you the one off the box. During a human expedition to colonize space, Mickey 17, a so-called expendable employee, is sent to explore an ice planet. That's a really shitty. Does AI write the IMDb?
You know what? That makes it sound like a really like a,
It doesn't really help. It's not.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. It says exactly what it is.
It's not enough, I don't think. Sometimes I think they give you too much, but I don't think they give you enough there.
Doesn't reflect like the potential social commentary that you will experience.
No, it just sounds like a bog standard sci-fi movie. Yeah. All right, Mickey 17, based on the book Mickey 7. What did you think, Sid Talk?
I loved it. Period. The end.
Period.
Point blank period. I just loved it. I love science fiction, first of all. Let's be sure everyone's aware.
Yes.
So I'm not unnecessarily biased just because of this particular movie and the message it might be delivering. But I just love science fiction. I love dystopian type ideas of the future. I don't know if that's what this is, but I like the idea that in the future, Earth and people were just dickheads, which we are. And so somebody wants to clone people is what we're talking about, not just making copies. So they're doing 3D printed copies of humans at this point in this story. And on Earth, everyone says no because of religion and politics and ethics and all that shit. So this guy, who's like a dictator twat, decides he wants to go to outer space because no one has made it illegal out in space. And then he will use a duplicate too. Basically, you're creating a human lab rat.
Yeah, a crash test dummy lab rat. Yeah.
Doing tests on this person over and over, killing them over and over and over and over to get cures for diseases and all that. So you can own it. So you can you create the problem and then you find the solution and everyone thinks you're a fucking savior.
Yeah.
So this brings up lots of people are terrible.
Yeah, it's got a lot of social commentary.
Yes.
Like a lot. And often in hilarious fashion.
Absolutely.
Because it's also a very funny movie. Even though it deals with terrible things and, things that you can think about. It is done in I wouldn't say goofy.
No.
But it's got a very comedic element to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it borders on like farce. For instance, the big scene in the room with all the people running around. Yeah. And he was drilling the rock. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That almost come off like a dance number or something very silly. But it works in this context.
Because what we're pointing out there is that these assholes who want to run the world and be very important love to put on a show.
This theatrics.
Yeah, they love to put on a show. Dingle dangle, look at me. Da, 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 da. And they're also mocking like those evangelistic television shows, where they're doing the praisey thing and all that. So, of course, I approve.
They're the moments where it gets a bit outlandish, but you're like, yeah, it fits in this universe.
It does fit. That's the big thing. It fits. Yeah. Sadly, Yeah.
And we've seen Bong Joon-ho, the director of this movie. We've seen his other movie called Okja.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie also has this same tone to it. It is a serious matter, but it's a funny, farcical way of showing you it.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember the Jake Gyllenhaal character in Okja?
Absolutely ridiculous.
Very similar to
Yeah.
the Mark Ruffalo character in this movie. It's
very different. No, I don't think so.
Odd, like an oddness.
Odd, but not.
Yeah.
I think it's very different.
I mean, this one in this movie is clearly a, depiction of our president.
A
at the moment.
lunatic. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think that. See, I'm not going to point that. I'm going to say it's anybody, any person in the history of all humanity, from this point back and this point forward, who for some reason, combination of DNA, life experience, boo-hoo fucking who, I want to be important, I want to be legendary, I want to make a difference in the world, and therefore I want to run the world and be important.
And that's that guy's whole vibe.
So it's not a specific person, I don't think we're talking about here. It's every single one of them has the exact same boring routine. They are so insignificant in the world that they have to da-da-da, and that's what this guy is that. And I love that Ruffalo does it or that's his name, Mark Ruffalo.
Ruffalo, yeah.
He's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it's like a vapid, empty man.
Yes.
With his woman on his shoulder telling him what to do.
Absolutely.
And it's really funny. It's pathetic and also funny at the same time.
Yes, it is.
And you can tell he's having a lot of fun doing it because it's outlandish.
There's that element too, where you've got his woman is the one who's basically pulling the
strings.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that because he's so vapid that he can't actually come up with his own how to be. He needs somebody to tell him how to be. I have a real disgust for people who want to dominate the world. And so this guy was like,
yeah, Mickey himself in this, the character of Mickey, who's 17. He's not 17. He's the 17th Mickey.
Correct. Yeah, tell what's really going on here.
Yeah, at the beginning of the movie, I thought this was one of the best parts of the movie where he, as a guy on Earth, he'd got involved in, they'd borrowed some money for what was it? A macaroon shop he wanted to make. And they borrowed some money from a loan shark, and he's like the most cunning loan shark in the universe who will, if you default on the payment, he will pursue you to the ends of the universe to get whatever it is back, right?
Correct.
So Mickey is like, oh shit, we can't pay the guy back. There's this program where you can go and be an expendable, as they call it, and they will kill you, 3D print a new one of you, and then you will be working for the government.
I'm going to correct you here. Mickey didn't know what he was signing up for.
He didn't read it properly.
He had no idea. So he's just getting on a ship.
But he just wants to get off Earth.
Yep, he's getting on a ship that's leaving Earth, as he thinks that means this loan shark, who's also a psychopath,
who can also pursue you anywhere in the galaxy.
Correct.
Right.
That is Mickey. Yeah, Mickey's not as bright as that.
So Mickey gets off the Earth into this program, and this program is basically is a crash test dummy. They want to test, is the environment okay on this planet? Let's throw Mickey down there and see if he dies or not.
Right.
He's in space at one point, and they're like, can you just take your glove off, please? And then they're all like, oh shit, when his hand goes flying off. So he can die, and it doesn't matter because they just print another one. Is there something lost? Well, you have your consciousness uploaded every week, he said at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So
all of his memories, all of his mind are all copied just right. So he's always him. He remembers dying.
Yes.
Every time.
And how horrific everything is.
Correct.
It's not a nice job. It's a horrible thing. And people kind of poke fun at him and stuff at the beginning.
They're terrible.
What's it like to die, Mickey? And, poking on him and stuff. So the character of Mickey is really horrible, but also a fun concept because of what he's experienced compared to everybody else. It's just a fun thing because he's in this spaceship. They're going to colonize a new planet. How long was the journey?
4 years.
So they're in this spaceship for 4 years. They've got to watch everything. They're just using him to test things out and stuff. And everybody else is just going about the business.
And we're also not mentioning that the dictator guy wants a pure society.
He does.
He wants to make sure everyone is pure and that everything is, they're going to repopulate with the pure, whatever, human So whatever.
And the whole crux of this movie is that it's illegal to have duplicates. So they've made this illegal at the beginning of this whole thing. So that means you can't print a person out and then have them still alive and then print another one out.
Correct.
But that's what happens. So there are two Mickeys, and that is where hilarity ensues, adventure, all that stuff.
Is it hilarity?
Well, there's a lot going on once that happens. And that also lets Robert Pattinson, who plays Mickey, be two different people. Because one's a different version of Mickey. And you can clearly see that, right? The way he acts in this movie.
Yeah, I think every version of him, like he ends
Slightly
up with,
different.
There's a woman that he hooks up with from the time they get on the ship. So that 4 years he's with a woman, and she's awesome, by the way, Nisha, I think is her name. And she has told him over the course of all the reproductions of him that different versions of him have different personalities. He doesn't remember, I guess. I mean, he would know, but she points out to him, number 3 was like this, and number 7 was more like that, and number 8 was more like this.
Right.
Well, number 18 is angry. It's almost like he's crystallized this attitude of like, these people treat me like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck everybody. And he's angry. You know, he's more like he'll just kill him immediately than the Mickey we get that we're seeing number 17.
Who is more emotional.
And we have to remind ourselves too that this Mickey always has blamed himself for his mother's death.
Right.
In the car, he was little. He pushed a button in the car. Right after that, his mother had a car wreck and died. He has always blamed himself for pushing that button, which was actually had nothing to do with the crash.
Yeah.
So he thinks his whole life is a punishment. So him being murdered or dying over and over and over, he just sort of takes it like, yeah, I deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another element you have to remember. And then his number 18 is like, no, we don't.
Yeah, you should be who you are. Like,
I don't deserve any of this crap. I mean, I know, and you know, because we both have the same memories, that you didn't cause that. So whatever personality defect you have, so you have that going on where we have the nice Mickey who will just let everybody kick the crap out of him. And it's kind of a story of when do you stand up for...
But that Mickey's not unlikable.
Oh,
let's
no.
say. Even the angry one's likable.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's just because he's like this is how I kind of saw it. He's like his big brother sticking up for him all the time.
First he wanted to kill him, his own
he
self.
Did, but then when he got round to understanding it all, he was like, no, you're being downtrodden and these fuckers need to pay.
Yeah, and then he sees the value of his other self being what he thinks of as weak, but he sees that he's a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, really fun. It's the kind of movie that you'll be thinking about a lot after it. There's a lot going on in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of like humanitarian stuff. And I really like the thing about where they're trying to colonize this new planet. The creatures that live on this planet are already there. And then they arrive and then call them aliens. And I like that line where she said,
humans call
you're the aliens. It's their home. They've been here forever.
We're the aliens. Yes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what she says.
We are the aliens. Yeah.
I like it where people are sticking up for the aliens, which are not.
You mean the natives?
The alien creatures on this.
They're not aliens.
Well,
they're
yeah,
natives.
that's what they say.
But they're not aliens.
Yeah. But they're like slug/centipedes/
they're like
moths.
that trilobot thing or whatever it's called, that they say can live in space.
Yeah.
Have you seen pictures of that?
Yes.
I think that's what's called.
But they're kind of cute looking, the small ones.
They're not, but...
Well, I thought they were.
They only made little sounds, yeah.
And there's lots of them. So that's also the thing, do our humans take over the planet or not? So there's all that going on too. Let's get on to the cast here. Robert Pattinson plays Mickey. What do you think? You know what? I liked him in the Batman. And I never saw Twilight. You'll have to shoot me at the,
Oh, is that who he was? I didn't even realize.
He was the sexy vampire in Twilight.
Okay, didn't even realize.
But I thought he was awesome as the Batman, which is what that film was called. But I've never really, seen him enough to really put a judgment on him. But this one I thought was, I think is excellent.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And especially playing a dual role like this, and I was like, oh, is this going to be like confusing or weird? And it never was. It was very clear what he was playing on either side.
Yeah, well done.
The angry version or the, kind of a little bit sad, emotional version of him. We've got Stephen Yeun as Timo. He is
Glenn.
Glenn from The Walking Dead. He's Mickey's friend on Earth at the beginning.
He's not his friend, though, is he? He's a jerk.
Not a friend, no.
Yeah, he's a jerk.
Yeah.
He's the one that got him in trouble with the loan shark because the guy, Glenn, we're going to call him Glenn.
Convinced Mickey.
Yeah, he's the one that borrowed the money, but put Mickey's name on it because Mickey was a bit of a soft touch. And so.
But he does a good job.
Yeah. Well, very good. Because he's really, he's so cold hearted. Like, he just doesn't care.
The chainsaw scene, like we say.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Like, come on.
Yeah. Naomi Aki plays Nasha. You like her?
Yes, very much.
She played Whitney Houston in the...
yes. Oh, my. And she's just amazing. She's absolutely... I could watch her all day, every day. She's
fun, and she is a really powerful person in this movie.
Exactly. Well, what do you mean?
I mean, without giving anything away, she really matters in this movie.
Oh, yeah. I guess I don't think of that. I think of like her as a person. She's just really bold and like.
No, I'm talking about the character.
Yeah. But I mean, she's tough and she loves the Mickeys. You can tell because she's kind of there for him. And she's also kind of like, turned on by, I think she's a little turned on by it all.
When she yells at Mark Ruffalo's character and drops the F-bomb a few times.
Oh my God, that's my favorite scene in a movie in a very long time.
That part is worth the admission for this movie.
Her anger, like coming out of her was brilliant.
Mark Ruffalo plays Kenneth Marshall. He's a complete knob.
He does a good job of being a knob.
It's very funny, the performance, because he's got some weird false teeth.
Yeah.
It's the most full of himself, up his own ass kind of character you've ever seen.
Absolutely.
Like when at the end where he's like, they're going to do a deed and all he's thinking about is how, when I go and do this deed, how good will my speech be and how people will remember me for this.
Well, he's got that religious guy who's talking about how good he can make him look on camera. And
yeah, he has two people whispering in his ear, the religious guy and his wife.
True.
So he's not really anybody. He's not really a person in his own right.
You are right.
He's just a vapid hole. Yeah.
Who wants to be something.
And Toni Collette plays that person in his ear, his wife, Aoife.
She's really...
Yeah.
She's very easily hateable.
Yeah.
Do you remember I said about, who was it? Was it last week? A character, a woman who was like really horrible, elitist, snotty, but she like leans in to like explain to somebody really nicely.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
What was that? Oh my God, I can see it in my mind, but I can't remember what it was. But this sort of like, she understands how horrible she is, but she has to kind of say the right things and make it look nice. That is who she is, and she does a brilliant job of it.
Directed by Bong Joon-ho. He directed Okja, Parasite, Snowpiercer, and The Host. And The Host was the first movie we'd seen by him. And that was a long time ago.
It was.
It was a Korean, like a giant monster movie. Like it was done in like a kind of a subtle way for a big giant monster movie. But it was pretty impressive.
Because it was kind of more about how terrifying the thought of it was.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really an interesting movie. And obviously Parasite is a brilliant movie. So what do you think of him here?
I think it's fantastic. It's like one of those meals we've talked about where you get all the stuff: sweet, sour, salty, savory, umami. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You've
been watching too much MasterChef.
This has the humor, the pointed message, the also not so pointed messages. I mean, there's 3 or 4 layered messages here. There's about like how idiotic it is to think you can go storm and like colonize basically an area and still come off looking all right. I mean, just as a dickhead move. And then there's the thing about as a person who's a kind heart or a nice person like Mickey 17 versus the people who just want to kick everybody's ass and be selfish and, the value in being just a good person, that it's important that we have good people. So you got that. So you got a little sweetness, you got a little bit of tartness because there is violence. There is like, like over the top.
Yeah.
We're going to like murder this entire species kind of situation. You just get it all mixed in there together. And the saltiness of like, the little ornery things here and there. Like when we see them in their quarters, the dickhead and his wife.
Oh, God.
It's like all lavish and fancy. And they're like laying all over each other in these silk robes, and at the same time, they're being absolutely wretched and horrible. That's like the, I don't know. I feel like I had the breadth of all things. And there was emotion, right?
Yeah.
There's drama.
Lots of comedy.
And yeah.
You might think, oh, a film with this kind of theme, how can that be funny? It is funny.
It is.
Yeah. And there were many times where I was like, oh, that's what we're doing. That's really like left field. I didn't think that was coming. So yeah, excellent. IMDb reviews, what are those?
Those are reviews on IMDb where people say, this is the worst movie ever made.
Oh.
This is a waste of time. This is very woke. Let's not forget the woke.
Yeah,
Woke,
somebody's
woke.
definitely going to say woke in here, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Number 1 says, I feel sorry for Robert Pattinson. He's the one redeeming aspect of this film. He's great in every scene, but gosh, the rest of the actors are horrible, especially Mark. The movie itself was unfunny, and the third act drags on forever in the most boring way possible.
Oh my, okay.
The direction is uninspired, and visually it has no creativity. Saw a different movie, I think?
I think so. Are you sure?
Yeah. Second one says, I've watched films for over 40 years. Man and boy, is this the first time I've ever left the cinema. Before the film ended, I did so with an hour of the film still left. That's how bad it is. It's not a drama. It's not a thriller. It's not a comedy. It's a bit of all of those. It was more than 1 hour of my life wasted.
See, it was a bit of everything, and this person just couldn't handle it.
And the last person says, how is this even possible from the same person who made Parasite? He created an absolute mess of a film. This film has no redeeming qualities and is a boring, uninspired chain of ridiculous events that leads to nothing. So they all said the same thing, actually, these people.
Oh, it's hard being right all the time, and these people being so wrong.
It's so long, it's a disappointment, it's blah, blah, blah. I don't think they were watching it right or something. Were they not paying attention?
Do we need to give lessons in how to watch movies?
Yeah, the lesson is sit and watch the movie. Don't do anything else. Put your phone down. Don't have anything else going on. No children running around. No dogs jumping on you. Just sit. If you have got children and dogs, lock them out of the room. Just put them in a small enclosure.
This is getting to not be good advice. I'm starting to doubt your advice here.
Well, I think that would be right. Get a little small enclosure, dogs and kids, all pile them in there. You go watch the movie on your own. And then when you're done, then they can have a drink and something to eat.
Oh my, this is getting dark. This is a movie all in itself. Somebody who is obsessed with movies and locks all their pets and children and spouse away while they watch a movie.
Exactly. That's the way to watch the movie. So that's my advice for this.
Or
week.
maybe you can have kids all over you and dogs, but maybe let yourself think for a little bit. It's really simple.
And actually watch the movie is what I'm saying. Don't check your email. Don't, because you check your email.
Is that what you think's happening? I
think that's what's happening mostly in people's lives these days. Just have to shut everything off and watch a movie sometimes.
I got you.
Yeah. You don't have to do it every time. If it's a movie you've seen before, go for it. So I'm going to give Mickey 17 an 8 out of 10.
I am giving it a 9.2.
No, that's very high.
Because I really, really liked it.
IMDb give it a 6.8 overall. You're all very wrong. 122,000 people. That's the average it got.
Well, that's fine, because average means there's going to be lots of higher up.
Yeah. All right, so...
If I know how to do math, and I don't.
Yes, you don't. So next week, we're going to be looking at Jason Statham's new movie where he kicks people in the head a lot, probably.
Is Beekeeper 2?
It's Working Man. He's a working man, and then he probably beats people up. I'm going to say that is accurate.
I'm going to say you're right.
All right. So movie recommendations. I am going with Naomi Aki from this film. She was in I Want to Dance with Somebody, the story of Whitney Houston. She was also fantastic in that.
Absolutely fantastic.
And Robert Pattinson was in an A24 film called High Life, which was another sci-fi movie, which took place on a space station. It also had some weird device.
You're right. I forgot about High Life.
Yes.
That was really interesting.
Yeah, and that was Robert Pattinson with his baby in that one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are the two I want to recommend.
And my recommendations are going back to the entire history of cinema. Cinema, as you like to say. And the horror movies. And I'm up to 1987. And guess what? We're tripling in. Oh, you know what? I didn't put any of my stuff on.
I was going to say, I don't know what they are. It's like a secret this week because they're not on the outline.
If people don't know, there's an outline that A. Scully has created that we are supposed to be looking at, requirement, as we are at our own computers doing this.
I mean, we don't write the show out. We just have, like, this is what's
next.
It's
not a script. It is like bullet points of the discussion. So he won't forget.
It's mainly for you.
It's not for me. I never look at it.
I'm just joking.
It's only for you. And on it, we fill in our little thingies, you know? True. And I didn't fill mine in this week. I just skipped over that part. So let me get to my recommendation. So we're into 1987, and I'm doing horror movies. Horror? Horror. I don't know that I consider this first one a horror movie, but hey, it's got that tag. And it's one of my favorite all-time movies. Don't judge. It's Predator.
That's a good movie.
I've put it right out there. I mean, there's something about it. As soon as that music cranks up in the beginning of the opening scene there in the helicopter, I can't help it. I think I was in an impressionable time in my life when I watched it probably 100 times.
I think you like a movie with sweaty men in a helicopter.
I like alien movies. And I like this alien, the Predator, who is an alien, where we're going. So Predator. Then we have The Lost Boys, also from 1987.
Yeah.
Probably pretty pretentious now, but you loved it, didn't you?
It's of its time, but...
It is of its time.
When you do see it now, you're kind of like, oh, it's a bit cringe, but I do like it.
It's sort of like the shiny vampire of its day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have Witches of Eastwick. Of course, we have Cher in that one, Jack Nicholson, and
I believe there's going to be a sequel.
All right.
Very soon.
With the same lady? Is Cher going to be in it?
Yes.
But, I mean, I don't remember it being fantastic, but, I mean, let's do it. Let's bring it on. Hellraiser, which I had not watched. Any of the Hellraisers. Hellraiser.
Easy for you to say.
For a long time. I'd never seen them all until a few years ago. You recommended that I watch them all, and I did. And I do like the concept, and I like the weirdness of it.
They're not all good.
They're not all good, but, I mean...
The first one's pretty good.
The overall Hellraiser thing, I just dig it. Nightmare on Elm Street #3. That's the one with lovely Alabama.
The Dream
Alabama
Warriors.
Whirly in it, you know?
It's the Dream Warriors.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I was going to say Taco Bell, but I'm moving on to the next slot that I don't.
That's not a movie. Or it might be.
Just so you know, I have a spreadsheet where I put all my details, and the next column is what's for supper.
Right. You're already onto what's for supper.
Moving on.
All right. A Scully stuff this week. I've been playing a new game called The Precinct. Did you see any of this?
I think I saw it from a distance.
It's very, very good. I'm highly impressed by it. So it's on PS5 and PC. And I'll give you the synopsis off Steam. It's always a good starting point. It says, Averno City, 1983. Gangs rule the streets, and your father lies restless in his grave. Clean up the city, uncover the truth, and embark on thrilling vehicle chases through destructible environments in this neon noir action sandbox police game.
Okay.
That's
a lot.
Yes. So what it is, it's a isometric view, like the old Grand Theft Autos a little bit. Like you're looking from above at everything.
Mm-hmm.
But very next gen. I mean, it looks new. It doesn't look like an old fashioned game. So you start as this rookie cop. Your father was also a cop who died in the police force, and you're coming in he was a really good cop and everybody kind of admired him. So you've got shoes to fill kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the game opens. And then you get dropped into this city And it does a tutorial with you at the beginning. This is how things go. And then it drops you into like a sandboxy world, like Grand Theft Auto, where you just be a cop. What I found was you have to think differently as a cop. So when you're wandering about, you have to be hyper-focused on, is anybody doing anything wrong? Clearly, that's how cops work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this game, it even goes down to the granular nature of being a cop, i.e., if you're walking along and you see you've got a little book that you can look in, which is all the things that you're allowed to book people for. And the book's very clear when you read it about everything that you have to follow. So it goes down to the granular level of, I was walking along and a car was parked in front of a fire hydrant, like, blocking it. So I went up to the car and I issued a citation for parking in front of the fire hydrant. And that's allowed, so you got to look in your book to make sure. But then they'll also be like, check the parking meters. Is anybody's expired here? You can give them a ticket. So it's down to that granular policing. But then obviously it's not just you walking around giving parking tickets. There's car chases. Sometimes you're in the police helicopter shining the spotlight down and issuing like spike strips and all that kind of thing to stop to stop a chase.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're going into the office and doing paperwork where you have to, sort everything out, look on the crime board. And you're working through this. There's a big case. You're not on the FBI side. You're just a cop. But the FBI have taken a liking to you because at the beginning you do something that is good. And they kind of keep pulling you into the office and you're kind of helping them work on their thing with the aim of one day maybe being part of them. It's that old... You've seen it a million times in all the cop shows and all the cop movies. But the gameplay is really fun. I really like just the ordinary, like, I'm the cop on the street. I'm not in my car. I'm just walking around. And you can speak to everybody in the game. You can actually go up to a pedestrian just walking and speak to them. And sometimes they might be up to something and you didn't realize it. They've just come from vandalizing like a wall just around the corner.
Right.
So you talk to a guy and you think, oh, he was okay. You walk around the corner and realize that was the guy who just vandalized this whole place. Then you have to go and chase him on foot.
That is very granular.
Yeah. So I've never really seen a game which covers policing in this very like detailed, because I was like, you're just going to be chasing baddies and shooting at people. Surely that's probably what this is. But no, it starts off, you're doing the mundane kind. I kind of like the mundane part of it.
I was going to say, this sounds like it's right up your alley.
Because I love like Truck Sim, which is a game where you're just driving, right? There's no action really. You're just driving.
Hikamo Kojima guy gave you that game that is all yours for being a delivery guy.
Delivering, yeah. Yeah, well, this is, you're a cop. You do normal cop stuff. There is a story, though, that you're unfolding, and it will get, higher and higher stakes. Like you do in the tutorial at the beginning, it's not really a spoiler. You do go on a drug bust along with the rest of the cops. You're just one of the cops who have been sent in there to make up numbers. The FBI guys do all the stuff, and you're just in there. But you do this drug bust that you help with, and that's how the FBI are like, well, you're a good cop, right? You can come in our office and give us some information. So, and then you're also got to live up to your dad was this awesome cop. And,
one of those.
And all the other cops kind of talk to you like, you're only here because of your dad. You have to prove yourself, basically. Yeah. So it's called The Precinct, $24.99 on PC and $29.99 on PS5. They sent me a copy for review, Fallen Tree Games, and thanks for that. I thought it was really good, and I would recommend it. Also, that's a good price, like half the price of all the regular games. Sid Talk, what's for dinner?
Taco Bell. We've already covered this because I skipped ahead on my spreadsheet.
True.
But last night was your first experience with Nachos Belgrande.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't know this, I'm telling you what we're eating because we're vegetarian. We have been since 2009, however many years that is. You can do the math. And we find it hilarious now that people still say, and people with good intentions, like when you going out to dinner with a group of people, oh, Sid, can you eat there?
Yeah.
Should we eat there? Is that okay with you? I'm like, this is not an ethical situation. And every restaurant, even if it's like We Heart Meat restaurant. They're going to have a potato and a salad and a piece of bread. I'm a carb lover, so I will eat that. So nachos bel grande nowadays, you can obviously replace any of the ingredients. So we just swap out the meat for black beans or rice or more beans. And what was your opinion of it last night?
Very delicious.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. Taco Bell, Nachos Bel Grande, Crunchwrap Supreme. It's all quality stuff.
We also went on a couple of bike rides this week.
Oh, yes, we did.
I had an injury last year. If you listen to the podcast, you'll know. I fell off my bike and did something to my wrist. I haven't been on a bike since then. So this week was my first time on a bike since then. And it was fine.
It was fantastic. It was very hot.
Yeah.
We chose to
I'm
go
not keen on we went on the 2 hottest days we've had, right? Next week, it'll probably be a bit cooler, so maybe that'll be more enjoyable. Because it was very sweaty. All right, Sid Talk. Is that it? Have
my opinion? Do you want my opinion?
Well, I want your advice.
We haven't done recommendations. Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
See, I need to follow the thing, I guess.
Clearly. So it is for you.
My advice I haven't filled in yet, but I'm going to say that my advice is, it's really simple, that I understand. It's simple, but it's complex.
Yes.
I understand that in my life, my experience of life, being raised by the people I was raised by, and my whole surroundings of everything is that you get up in the day and you go, 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 go. You do. You get shit done and you're productive and you go up with the people and you do the thing and you make sure you get shit done. And it's important that you just about kill yourself getting everything done. If you've got a task that needs to get done, like if you need to go do the garden, oh, it's such a horrible burden. I have to get it all done in one day. No, you don't. This is the lesson. This is the advice. You do not. Now, there are times when circumstance might seem like it dictates that you do all things immediately right here, right now. And I get that. If there's children or an illness or obligations to be met, you run a farm, so there are other lives like your livestock that are dependent on you, and the crops won't do themselves. You know what I mean? I get that. There's timely things. If I'm an ER doctor, I don't want to walk in and go, oh, I'm not in that big a hurry tonight. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, and you wake up in the morning and you have a bunch of stuff that needs to get done. Really examine what needs to be done versus what you think needs to be done, what you want to get done, and what can wait. It's not about procrastination or being lazy. See, this is what was drilled into my head. If you're not doing stuff and running and doing and then at the end of the day, you're not completely exhausted and you have 5 more things you have to get done, well, then you're lazy, right? If you're not exhausted from killing yourself, then you're lazy. And I think it was also with reasonable intentions, like be a productive person, right? Not a bad concept. I get that. But I'm older now. Both of my parents are gone now. I am retired. I don't have children of my own to, have on my mind or as a list of things that need to be taken care of during the days, or grandchildren. And yet I have things that I'm responsible for. Obviously, I don't live for free, right? We don't just breathe in air and we sustain our lives. So I think there are things I need to get done. But if I look at the list of things I think must be done, like my garden has a million things, my garage is a mess, I'm working on making some cookbooks for an organization, and that all needs to get done. I'm already tired by the time I open my eyes. And then I realize what needs to be done, what do I think needs to be done, and what can wait. Nothing bad is going to happen from any of those things waiting or being doled out one thing at a time. Even going to get the Taco Bell, it will wait.
Yes.
Until I've planted a few more tomato plants. You know what I mean? I don't even know if that's advice. It's advice that's not advice, but it is just an idea that even if you implement it on the 2% of yourself, you will be very grateful.
All right. Thank you.
Aye.
ascully.com. That's the place you can go to get this podcast. You can also go to Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, or YouTube. You can catch us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, And you can email feedback to me, ascully@ascully.com. Don't email Sid Talk. She doesn't want your email. And stay classy, Robert Pattinson. I don't know if he's going to be the Batman again, but I'd like to see him again as the Batman.
Yeah. And I'm going to say, think for yourself, because if you're not doing it, someone's doing it for you.